Good evening, everyone. We'll call the City Council to order at 8 o'clock on Monday, January 24th, 2022. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Do want to recognize Councilor Brown as our newest member of the City Council for the 2022-2023 legislative session, so welcome. There are 23 items on this evening's agenda, and I will ask the City Clerk to please read agenda item number 1.
Minutes of the City Council meeting, December 20th, 2021.
Councilor Dumas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to accept and place on file.
Motion made and second to accept on place on file. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It is filed. 11-0. Agenda item number 2.
Minutes of the City Council organizational meeting, January 3rd, 2022.
Councilor Dumas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to accept and place on file.
Motion made and seconded to accept and place on file the minutes. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? They are filed. 11-0. Agenda item number 3.
Council President Ossing, an update from Mayor Vigent regarding COVID-19.
Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President, members. So it's been a little while since I've been down here actually to give an update, but we've seen a little bit of activity. Actually, we saw things peak in the city with 1,204 cases back on January 9th, and now that's been brought down to about 288. So we're back going in the right direction. We've been hovering around the 300 mark now for about a week, and obviously this strain is hitting and being less severe than it was last time, but it still exists today. Right now with the state numbers, we have 88% of our residents that have had one dose, and 77% of our residents are fully vaccinated. So again, that's going up at about 1% a week. It's not going up a ton. It's not going up real fast. We're working on some of the students because we've seen obviously a big uptick in our student population. Again, the peak being on January 6th. We had 181 students out with COVID. There were a lot more out, but we only have reports of 181 positive COVID cases. And as of today, we're down to 99 cases. So we've cut that in approximately half since then. The health department still keeps doing what they do. Since last time we met, we've done a pediatric clinic at the high school on December 22nd. We did a booster clinic on January 12th at the Bethel Presbyterian Church. On January 19th, we did a booster clinic at Jericho. So we're trying to reach out to some of the other smaller groups and trying to get them as much support as we can. We're doing a pop-up clinic at the Brazilian Steakhouse. So get down there, get a nice meal, and get your shots down there, your vaccines, and that's on January 25th. And on the 26th, we are doing another booster clinic up at Jericho. So I know they're trying, down in the health department, trying to get into a routine of doing, we're trying to figure out whether it's going to be a weekly or bi-weekly, but kind of set something in stone. Right now, they've just been kind of filling in whenever they have an opportunity, and it's worked real well, but we'd like to have something a little more consistent. We've also been distributing a lot of the take-home kits. So we purchased about 10,000, and then we were given some from the state. So we have a few kits. We've been dropping them off at the Council on Aging. We got them in several of the offices in the city. Residents can pick them up at the Housing Authority or at the senior center. The Boys Club has received some, and SMARC has received some. They're giving out with food, so we're trying to get these distributed out. Obviously, we can't deliver them to every home. Because I wanted to make sure we got them quickly, I actually split a pallet of take-home tests with the mayor of Woburn. He had them on order, and I said, give me a half a pallet, and I'll replace them later. So that was good. And DPH actually helped out in our health department by loaning us a pallet, and we've replaced that one also. So we have some tests we're getting out there, and it's working pretty well. There's 2 in a box, so obviously we want to try to get that to as many people that can use them as possible. The health department, the Board of Health last week, a week and a half ago, put in an immediate mandate on indoor space masks. It's time to mask up, and that went into effect on January 21st. Whether I agree or disagree, I can have a differing opinion. The difference is I have an opinion, and we have 2 members on the Board of Health that are medical people that actually have facts. So that's why we rely on them to make the decisions and not just someone with an opinion. So I respect what they're doing. I'm sure they're going to take a look at things as they move forward, and when they think it's appropriate, we can figure out how we're going to change things moving forward. But that's where it stands right now, and I support their efforts 100%. So, questions, Mr. President?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Questions for the mayor. Councilor Doucette.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Through you to the mayor. You said there's going to be a vaccine clinic at the Brazilian Steakhouse. Is that the one on Route 20 across from Walgreens?
I believe it is.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Councilor Perlman.
Thank you, Mr. President, and through you to the mayor. I just really want to appreciate you coming down with this update and thank the Board of Health for the mask mandate. I know I've received a lot of positive feedback on that. I had 2 questions. One is regarding how long the home testing program will last in the city. And then the other one is if you could provide an update about the regular testing that's happening right now in the city.
The testing timeline is going to be based on the state. As long as they continue running the program, the hospital is being reimbursed, we're going to continue the program. It's dropped off tremendously in the last couple of weeks. I was down there this morning and there were a dozen cars. I went down right after New Year's and they were actually going up Bigelow Street. We had them lined up and I think they hit 2,000 on one day. So they've been working hard out there, but it's dropped off tremendously in the last couple of weeks. I thought we'd see a little bit of a bump after Martin Luther King's Day, but it really wasn't much. So whether they move it back to the hospital or whether they keep it where it is, New England Sports Center has been phenomenal in letting the hospital and the city utilize their parking lot. It was only a real issue through the Christmas, New Year's week where they had a hockey tournament going at the same time, and it was a little chaotic that week. But other than that, it's worked really, really well, and can't thank the New England Sports Center enough for their support.
Okay, thank you so much. And then just to follow up on the at-home tests, are any of those being distributed within the schools as well?
They have a different program going on in the schools. Actually, at the same time, we bought a pallet of 7,500 boxes. They also bought one. Theirs was as a backup because they're getting distributions from DESE on a weekly basis. But just in case DESE shorted us or didn't come through, the superintendent thought it was important to have their own supply, and I wholeheartedly supported them on that.
Thank you. I know many residents appreciate those at-home tests, so
Thanks.
thank you for organizing. Thank you.
Councilor Orem.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. A couple questions and just a comment. It's good to see the chair from the Board of Health here in the audience. Also great to see the action that they took on the mask mandate. Very important. We had 1,200 active, above 1,200 active cases. I'm looking at the data that comes right off the Board of Health website from the state just a week ago. Now we're hovering around 429. So it's good to see it drop as it has
I think we're down
400.
under 300 right now, Counselor.
It may be, on these figures, they came from Friday. So
Okay, all right. Yeah, we're down again from there, so.
that's good news, and I think all this proactive work is really working. Question in the schools, with all the changes happening at the state
Yep.
level, when are we starting the in-home testing? Was that answered yet? I didn't hear the answer to that. Do you know offhand what the horizon looks like for the in-home testing?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think that's going to be discussed tomorrow night at the school committee meeting, so
Okay,
I
so
can give you a better answer after that.
that's fine. And again, I appreciate you coming down all the times you have, Mr. Mayor, to give us these updates. And pretty much, just, we have to be still aware. It's not over, but cases are going down. Still stay proactive, as I feel everyone should. And the other question I had, do we know offhand percentage-wise? That was my other question. How many city employees are vaccinated fully, to 2 at least, and how many school employees are vaccinated fully to 2 doses? Do we have those figures?
No, but I think we have a program coming out in the next couple of weeks, and I think we'll have a better idea exactly how many we have. But we're anticipating we're probably in the same ballpark as what we see citywide, but I haven't implemented any mandated vaccinations, so we haven't done that. I know down the fire department, they're gonna start doing regular testing for every shift, now that we have tests available, but the chief's been on top of that.
Well, it'll be interesting to see those numbers when they do become available, and even if you can get the ones that are boosted, it'd be good to know the percentages.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Any other questions for the mayor? Any questions for the mayor? Seeing none, Mr. Mayor, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Moving on, agenda item number 4.
From Council President Ossing, the 2022 City Council regular meeting schedule and City Council committee assignments for the legislative year 2022.
Councilor Dumas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to accept and place on file.
Motion made and second to accept and place on file. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It's filed 11-0. Agenda item number 5.
Communication from President Ossing regarding the appointment of Councilor Ward 1 Laura Wagner to the Municipal Aggregation Committee pursuant to Council Order 19-100-7578B.
Councilor Dumas.
Motion to place accept on file, please.
Motion made and second to accept and place on file. Any discussion on the motion? Councilor Doucette.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I just want to make it, I believe that she's going to be a wonderful asset to the Municipal Aggregation Committee and look forward to her input to it. Thank you.
Me too. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? It is filed. Agenda item number 6.
Communication from the mayor regarding gift acceptances totaling $6,800 awarded to the Council on Aging to be used as outlined. A, in the amount of $5,000 from the estate of Ernest Genetti for programming and the game room. B, in the amount of $1,000 from the Marlborough Foundation to refurbish the pool tables in the billiards room. And C, in the amount of $800 from Boston Scientific for fuel assistance for seniors in need.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to approve the gift, please.
Motion made and second to approve the gifts. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It is approved 11-0. Agenda item number 7.
Communication from the mayor regarding grant acceptance in the amount of $26,667 from the Department of Fish and Game awarded to the Conservation Commission to be used to expand and restore the desert natural areas.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to approve the grant, please.
Motion made and seconded to approve the grant. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It is approved 11-0. Agenda item number 8.
Communication from the mayor regarding grant acceptance in the amount of $18,000 from the Department of Environmental Protection awarded to the Department of Public Works to be used to offset the rising cost of processing recyclable materials.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to approve the grant.
Motion made and seconded to approve the grant. Any discussion on the motion? Councilor Oram.
Thank you. I would just like to thank the people involved with our recycling program. I did see someone from the DPW here, 2 people. And, you know, it's good to see Marlborough participating in the recycling programs and to see that we're still in a green community process. So with that, it's great to see money coming in, too, from the state for the activities that is taken on behalf of our city by the DPW. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Oram. Any other discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It is approved 11-0. Agenda item number 9.
Communication from the mayor regarding a transfer request in the amount of $311,945, which moves funds from reserve for salaries account to sick leave buyback to fund the recent and upcoming retirements from the police and fire departments.
Counselor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. As it's outlined in the letter from the mayor and the city auditor, this is for retirements for the police department and the fire department. I have communicated with the city auditor, Smith, and the funds are there available to do the transfer. So my motion this evening is to make a motion to transfer the, request the amount of $311,945 from reserve for salaries to sick leave buyback, please.
Motion made and seconded to approve the transfer. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It is approved, 11-0. Agenda item number 10.
Communication from the mayor regarding the reappointment of David Georgie as police chief for a 4-year term to expire on August 20th, 2025.
Counselor Dumas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to refer to personnel.
Motion made and seconded to refer to the Personnel Department Committee. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It is approved, 11-0 to go to Personnel. Agenda item 11.
Communication from the mayor regarding the reappointment of police chief David Georgie as keeper of the lockup for a term of 1 year.
Counselor Dumas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to place and accept on file.
Motion is made and seconded to accept and place on file. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It is filed, 11-0. Agenda item number 12.
Communication from the mayor regarding the appointment of Jeremy McManus to the position of Assistant City Solicitor for a term of 3 years effective from the date of confirmation.
Counselor Dumas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to refer to personnel.
Motion made and seconded to refer to the Personnel Committee. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It is approved to go to Personnel, 11-0. Agenda item number 13.
Communication from the mayor regarding the appointment of Sarah Ho to the Historical Commission for a term of 3 years effective from the date of confirmation.
Counselor Dumas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to refer to personnel.
Motion made and seconded to refer to the Personnel Committee. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Is referred to Personnel, 11-0. Agenda item 14.
Communication from Solicitor Jason Grossfield regarding a request for executive session to discuss litigation strategy relative to WP Marlborough Mass Owner, LLC versus the Marlborough City Council.
Counselor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to move this item down to the end of our business after number 23, the reports from finance.
Motion made and seconded to move this item to after agenda item number 23. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It is moved to the end of the agenda, 11-0. Agenda item 15.
Communication from Code Enforcement Officer Ethan Lippett regarding the request for approval of a flat wall sign, Wellisandra Boutique at 56 Apex Drive, Suite B, within the Hospitality and Recreation Mixed-Use Overlay District.
Counselor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. Unless anybody has a desire to send this to Urban Affairs, I'm going to move to approve it this evening.
Motion made and seconded to approve the sign. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Sign is approved, 11-0. Agenda item 16.
Communication from Attorney Brian Falk on behalf of VD Naturals LLC regarding a signed package and notification of business name for Kosha Dispensary, the planned retail marijuana establishment to be located at 505 Boston Post Road West, order number 1920-100-7881F.
Counselor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. As Attorney Falk has indicated in his letter, he is giving us the information. I move to accept and place on file.
Motion's made and seconded to accept and place on file the information. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It is filed, 11-0. Agenda item 17.
Communication from Attorney Sam McCanian on behalf of Main Street Bank regarding a request for minor modification of an LED sign permit at 81 Granger Boulevard, order number 1819-100-7423E.
Counselor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, Attorney Kanian has explained what happened with the change for this LED sign permit. I'm going to move to approve tonight unless somebody has a reason they want to have it go to Urban.
Motion made and seconded to approve the minor modification to the sign permit. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The minor modification of the sign permit is approved, 11-0. Agenda item 18.
Communication from National Grid regarding the notice of upcoming sideline vegetation management within the electric transmission right-of-way easement.
Council Dumas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to place and file.
Motion's made and seconded to accept and place on file the National Grid correspondence. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It is filed, 11-0. Agenda item 19.
Communication from the Local Election District Review Commission regarding notice of approval of the updated re-precincting map for the city of Marlborough.
Council Dumas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to accept and place on file.
Motion's made and seconded to accept and place on file the communication from the Local Election Division. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It is filed, 11-0. Agenda item number 20.
Communication from Doug Peasy regarding mask and other mandates to protect against COVID.
Council Dumas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to accept and place on file.
Motion made and seconded to accept and place on file the correspondence. Any discussion on the motion?
On the motion to accept and place on file only, because I was going to thank the author, but if that's not
You
allowed.
can thank them, but we're not
Yeah,
getting
no,
into
I'm not going to
All right.
debate it on the floor, Council President, Ms.
Thank you.
Council Ossing, President Ossing. I just wanted to thank the author because I think it sparked interest. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you,
Motion's
Mr.
made and seconded to
President.
accept and place on file. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It is filed, 11-0. Agenda item 21.
Minutes of boards, commissions, and committees.
Councilor Doucette.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Motion to accept and place on file the minutes of the boards, commissions, and committees.
Motion's made and seconded to accept and place on file the minutes. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It is filed, 11-0. Agenda item number 22.
Claims.
Mr. President,
Councilor Doucette.
motion to send the claims to the legal department.
Motion's made and seconded to send the claims to the legal department. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none. All those in favor? Opposed? It's going to legal, 11-0. Reports of committees. Yay. It's early. Item 23.
Order number 21-100, 8449A. Proposed ordinance amendment to the City Code, Chapter 510 Sewer, Section 4 Building Sewer Connections, and to Chapter 608 Water, Section 11 Entrance Fees, to increase both water and sewer entrance fees based on significant demand on the system as proposed by Mayor Vigin. The recommendation of the Finance Committee is to approve, and the advertising requirement has been met as this item was advertised on December 29, 2021.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move the recommendation of committee to approve the amendment to the city code, please.
Which has been made and seconded to approve the recommended changes to the city ordinance for the water and sewer entrance fees. Any discussion? Since this is an ordinance change, it'll take, go through the 4 stages. You all set, Mr. Clerk? All those in favor of suspending the first reading and approving the second reading? All in favor? Opposed? That is approved. All those in favor of the passage to be enrolled? All those in favor? All those opposed? It is approved. All those in favor of the passage to be ordained? All those in favor? Opposed? It is ordained. That's approved. And is there any objection to approving the ordinance in one evening? Seeing none, the ordinance is approved. 11-0. So now we're going to go back to agenda item 14. Thank you, Tom. You could read the order, agenda item 14.
Move that the Marlborough City Council meet in executive session under Purpose 3 of the Open Meeting Law, Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the litigating position of the public body. Regarding the pending matter, WP Marlborough Mass Owner LLC versus the Marlborough City Council, Land Court Number 21, MISC 000451, as the chair hereby declares that discussion in an open session may have a detrimental effect on the city and the city council's litigating position. The city council will not reconvene in open session after the executive session.
Councilor Roby, make a motion to approve the order. Is in order?
Move to approve the order.
Motion's made and seconded to approve the order. Any discussion on the motion? I will ask the clerk, this is a roll call vote to go into executive session, and to remind the viewers at home, we will not be reconvening, so we will, well, depending on the vote, let's take the vote first. On the vote to approve the order to go into executive session, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Councilor Doucette.
Councilor Doucette votes yes.
Counselor Naven.
Yes.
Counselor Pearlman.
Yes.
Counselor Dumas.
Yes.
Counselor Irish.
Yes.
Counselor Roby.
Yes.
Counselor Wagner.
Yes.
Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Counselor Oram.
Yes.
Counselor Ossing.
Yes.
And Counselor Landers.
Yes.
11 yeas, sir.
The motion to go into executive session is approved, 11 in favor, none opposed. The city council will now go into executive session. We will be terminating the meeting because we will not be reconvening, so this is the end of the city council meeting at 8:26. Hope that's not an insight. 8:26, and we will now go into executive session. Thank you, everyone.